So first of all, Mr. Tyler Perry's red carpet. Of course, you're here because of him. But what about this is special for you to be a part of the whole process of Mr. Perry's filmmaking?
Well, we go way back. We did plays together. I've known him ever since he did I Know I've Been Changed. I've watched him grow. I've watched him evolve. And I've watched him develop. I knew him just on the other side of sleeping in the car. So to see where he is now, I mean, it's gratifying. It's faith-stirring. I think it's motivational for a whole lot of people.
You know, there's a certain excellence that he exudes when he works. You know, there's a certain special quality that he has that I feel like people may not truly appreciate for years to come, but you've witnessed it firsthand. So what is that it factor that he has that you feel like is just really dynamic?
There are a couple of things. I got a chance to sit down and do a one-on-one with him. I'm going to air it on October the 25th, and you're asking me one of the things I asked him. Yeah, so that's really, really cool. I think one of the things is that Tyler has a very good sense of his audience. Because he's been on stage with them and listened at their response, he knows what makes them laugh, he knows what makes them cry. He's in touch with everyday people in a way that is very, very unique. The other thing I think that people often underestimate about him is that he is a very shrewd business person. There are a lot of talented people, but if you're not a good steward of that talent, people will never see or hear your talent. Tyler has built an amazing empire in Atlanta. We sat down and talked about that, what he was doing, broke all the rules, and won anyway. It doesn't get any better than that.
Can't wait to see that episode. Congratulations on your show. And actually, the other people that we have are going to be Oprah and Maria Shriver.
Yeah, we've got Maria Shriver, that she's going to be on the 26th, and then we've got Oprah Winfrey on the 27th. That Friday, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm in talk show heaven.
You know, when it comes to using your platform to speak about issues that are relatable to people, you know, how has that been important to you, and why do you want to take that now to your talk show?
You know, that's the most exciting thing about it for me. I get an opportunity to highlight certain issues and to explain them in a very unique way to a broader audience of people, to be boots on the ground in Charlotte when they went through their crisis, and to get behind the scenes where other people couldn't go and have conversations that perhaps other people wouldn't have is one of the great joys of having my show. And because I have an audience that is very eclectic and very diverse, I think it's a unique opportunity to explain one to the other. We want to do something that's positive and uplifting. There's so much negativity out there right now. The TD Jakes Show is an opportunity for me to kind of shine some light in all the darkness that we're dealing with right now.
You know, you speak of that about the darkness. You know, being a Christian in Hollywood, because you yourself have films as well. You know, what have been some of the challenges that you've had when it comes to delivering a message, but at the same time mixing entertainment, and do the two actually go together, or should they go together?
I think that it is possible, and history has taught us that one of the best ways to change society is through the arts. This is a great opportunity to do it. And I've not had a lot of conflict personally in my theology about it, because when I look at Jesus teaching through parables, he was a storyteller. And so when I get to do a movie or get to do a play, I'm using stories to present truths to people. That's unique. I think what has been difficult is getting the decision makers to understand that there is a legitimate audience in between New York and LA, that there are real people who live out there, and that they have unique perspectives on issues, and that they are not offended by faith, even when they may or may not embrace it themselves. We live with each other every day. We ride the bus with each other. We're America.
You know, speaking of America, and as a Christian, I want to ask you this question. In recent news, and I don't want to talk too much about the dark things that are happening, because this is such a great opportunity to talk about light. However, as a Christian, have you thought of, or had a battle with, you know, when it comes to Donald Trump and his infidelities and or his accusations against him, versus those of the policies of Hillary Clinton that are potentially will take away the religious liberties of Christians? What are your thoughts about just those two? Should we sacrifice the religious liberties versus, or because of something that has taken place, like David himself was considered infidel? So what are your thoughts about that?
I think that we have become so distracted by the personal lives of the candidates that we are not really taking them to task as it relates to policies that affect everyday Americans. Most of us will never meet Hillary Clinton. We will never meet Donald Trump, whether they're elected or not. What we should be focusing on is the kinds of issues that change the criminal justice system, that create job opportunities so that men can be good fathers and husbands to their families, that gives us an equity and equal opportunity, and the nuances of their personal lives as regrettable as they may be, are a distraction from the policies that we must face. And I think that we have to look at those policies. And then there is a level of toxicity where it becomes impossible for me to consider you.
Well, when it comes to their policies and not their personal lives, I mean, Donald Trump wants to instate justices in the Supreme Court who potentially will uphold the Constitution, which was founded by Christian leaders, and Hillary, on the other hand, doesn't. So, I mean, when it comes to the voting from a matter of principality from a Christian standpoint, I mean, what should Christians lean towards?
Well, you know, I know that there are some Christians who are making decisions totally based on the Supreme Court. But I think that that is one consideration, but I don't think it's the only consideration. I'm looking at North Korea. I'm looking at them pointing missiles at us. I'm looking at our relationship with Russia. I'm looking at whoever is in that office has got to make decisions that may cost us our lives. And so I'm very passionate about leadership. Leadership is important to me, and I really, really care about it. I don't think that we should make the decision totally based on the Supreme Court, because if we don't get the right kind of leader, we may not live to see who's going to be the next Supreme Court justice.
I appreciate your time, Pastor,
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Have a good night. Thank you.
We're going right here.